If you toss a handful of blueberries into a bowl of cereal or a blender every morning and assume you've booked a daily ticket to better brain and heart health, I need to tell you something important. What you eat with those blueberries can change how much benefit you actually get. Some everyday pairings can blunt the antioxidants, destroy vitamin C, or trigger reflux, outcomes that matter more as we age. Today I'll walk you through 3 common foods that are nutritionally antagonistic to blueberries, why that happens in plain language, and exactly how to fix it, so those little blue fruits keep doing their job for your brain, heart, and digestion. Blueberries are a smart choice for older adults because they're rich in anthocyanins, the pigments that give them their deep blue color. Anthocyanins are antioxidants, which is a short way of saying they help protect cells, including brain and heart cells, from the slow wear and tear of aging. Blueberries also bring fiber, vitamin C, and a low glycemic load, so they fit well into diets focused on blood sugar control and heart health. But the chemistry of food matters. Certain proteins, enzymes, and acids from other foods can interfere with those benefits. Here are the 3 foods to avoid eating with blueberries and what to do instead: cow's milk, raw cucumber, especially in smoothies, and pineapple. If this evidence-based senior nutrition content is useful, hit like and subscribe to get more practical tips for aging well. First, cow's milk paired with blueberries. The issue here is a protein in milk called casein. Casein is the main protein in cow's milk. You can think of it as a sticky Velcro that likes to grab onto the special antioxidant molecules in blueberries, polyphenols and anthocyanins. When casein grabs these molecules, it forms complexes that are harder for your gut to absorb. In plain terms, you may eat the antioxidants, but your body doesn't get as much of them into the bloodstream, where they can be helpful. What does that mean for a typical senior breakfast? If you routinely pour cow's milk over cereal and toss fresh blueberries on top, or add milk to a blueberry oatmeal, you may be reducing the antioxidant impact those berries would otherwise give you. You'll still get fiber and vitamin C from the fruit, but the anthocyanin boost that helps with brain and blood vessel protection can be blunted. Practical fixes are simple. Use water or an unsweetened plant milk, like almond milk or oat milk, when making oatmeal and adding berries. These alternatives don't contain the same casein protein, so the berries' antioxidants remain available. If you prefer real cow's milk or a dairy latte habit, keep a 2 to 3 hour window between drinking milk and eating blueberries. That separation gives your stomach and small intestine time to handle one thing at a time, reducing the chance the milk protein will interfere with blueberry polyphenol absorption. Another option: swap cow's milk for plain Greek yogurt in a parfait, which I'll explain more about later. Fermentation changes the proteins in ways that are friendlier to blueberry antioxidants. Second, raw cucumber, especially in smoothies. Cucumbers are a refreshing, low-calorie vegetable, but raw cucumber contains an enzyme called ascorbate oxidase. In plain language, this enzyme speeds up the breakdown of vitamin C. When you blend raw cucumber with vitamin C-rich fruits like blueberries in a smoothie, the enzyme is released and can start degrading the vitamin C quickly, sometimes before you finish your drink. That's the biochemical explanation. Blending ruptures cells and frees the enzyme to do its work. Why does that matter? Vitamin C works together with anthocyanins and other antioxidants in fruit. Losing vitamin C reduces the overall antioxidant value of the smoothie, and for seniors who are relying on that drink for a concentrated nutrition boost, it makes the beverage less effective. The fix is straightforward. Avoid adding raw cucumber to blueberry smoothies. If you like cucumber in your diet, have it separately. Eat it as a side or wait at least 30 minutes after a blueberry-rich meal before eating cucumber. Cooking inactivates ascorbate oxidase, so if you really want them together, you could use cooked cucumber, though that's an uncommon approach for smoothies. A better swap for green smoothie texture would be spinach or kale. Leafy greens don't contain the same enzyme and blend well with blueberries. Third, Pineapple and blueberries eaten together. Pineapple is delicious and contains an enzyme called bromelain, which can be a digestive aid in some people, but can also be irritating to sensitive stomach linings. More importantly, in this pairing, pineapple has a relatively high natural acidity. When you combine a highly acidic fruit with a concentrated serving of blueberries, you increase the total acid load hitting the stomach. For many older adults, especially those with a history of reflux or GERD, that extra acidity can trigger heartburn, bloating, or nausea. Think about it this way. The stomach of an older adult may be less tolerant of sudden acid spikes. Add bromelain and an acidic fruit like pineapple, and the result can be a recipe for discomfort. That doesn't mean pineapple is bad for you. It just means that eating pineapple and blueberries at the exact same time raises the chance of irritation for people with sensitive digestion. How to handle this? Keep pineapple and blueberries separated by at least 1 hour. If you want both fruits in a single meal, choose small portions and eat them with a starchy or fatty balance. For example, a handful of whole grain crackers or a few walnuts to moderate the acidity. If you already have reflux or take acid-reducing medications, be especially mindful. Many seniors find pineapple is easier to tolerate when eaten alone or later in the day, not blended into an early morning smoothie with blueberries. Now that we've covered the 3 pairings to avoid, let's flip the script and talk about 3 foods that actually amplify what blueberries do for older bodies. First positive pairing, Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt goes beyond being just dairy. It's a fermented food, meaning the proteins in milk have been partially broken down by friendly bacteria during the fermentation process. Fermentation changes the structure of casein, so it's less likely to bind blueberry polyphenols, the same way fresh cow's milk does. Greek yogurt also adds probiotics, live bacteria that support gut health and provides a good source of protein. Put blueberries in plain Greek yogurt and you get a mix of antioxidants, protein to support muscle and satiety, and gut-friendly microbes. If you're watching added sugars, choose plain Greek yogurt and add a sprinkle of cinnamon or a few chopped walnuts for flavor and texture. Second positive pairing, banana. Bananas bring potassium and soluble fiber, including prebiotic fibers that feed beneficial gut bacteria. When combined with blueberries, bananas help with texture in smoothies and add nutrients that support heart health and steady blood pressure. Their soluble fiber slows digestion slightly, which can help stabilize blood sugar when fruit is eaten. If you're diabetic or take blood sugar lowering medication, keep portion sizes reasonable and monitor your response. Then inform your prescriber if you're changing your routine significantly. Third positive pairing, walnuts. Walnuts are rich in healthy fats, including alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a plant-based omega-3 that supports brain and cardiovascular health. Dietary fat helps the body absorb some nutrients better, and although blueberry anthocyanins are mostly water-soluble, having healthy fats in a snack or meal supports overall brain structure and can make a berry-scented breakfast more satisfying. A tablespoon or 2 of chopped walnuts sprinkled on oatmeal or yogurt is a simple way to add that support. Combine these 3 positive ideas into practical breakfast and snack examples that respect the avoid rules and amplify benefits. One morning option. Make oatmeal with water. Stir in a half to 1 cup of frozen blueberries late in cooking so they warm through, and top with a small handful of chopped walnuts. This keeps milk out of the immediate mix, preserves anthocyanins, adds healthy fats for satiety, and uses frozen berries that are convenient and often nutritionally equal or superior to fresh because they're frozen at peak ripeness. If you like parfaits, build it with plain Greek yogurt, a layer of blueberries, and a sprinkle of walnuts and cinnamon. The yogurt's fermentation helps protect antioxidant availability, and you get protein plus probiotics. For smoothies, skip raw cucumber and cow's milk. Use half a banana, a cup of frozen blueberries, and water or unsweetened plant milk like almond or oat milk. That gives you a smooth texture, potassium and fiber without the casein problem. If you want a thicker texture with some dairy protein, plain Greek yogurt blended with blueberries is acceptable because fermentation changes the protein. But be mindful if you have a severe dairy sensitivity. A few practical tips to make these suggestions easy to follow every day. Frozen blueberries are fine and often convenient. They're picked and frozen at peak ripeness, which preserves anthocyanins and vitamin C. Keep portion sizes reasonable. About half a cup to 1 cup of berries is a typical serving. If you're adding nuts, a small handful, about 1 ounce, is enough to get beneficial fats without too many extra calories. Medication safety matters for seniors. If you're on anticoagulants like warfarin, remain consistent with your intake of vitamin K-rich foods. Blueberries are not a major source of vitamin K compared to leafy greens, but any substantial changes in the amount or frequency of foods can affect medication monitoring. Do not change medications or dosages on your own. Instead, tell your prescribing clinician about any notable diet changes so they can advise or monitor you accordingly. Also, if you take blood sugar-lowering medications, adding concentrated fruit regularly can change your carbohydrate intake. Monitor blood sugar and inform your provider if you plan to increase berry servings or add daily smoothies. Beyond medications, pay attention to how your body responds. Many older adults have changes in digestion, slower gastric emptying, more reflux sensitivity, or different tolerance for concentrated fruit acids. If blueberries with pineapple cause heartburn, separate them or reduce portion sizes. If a smoothie with milk leaves you feeling bloated, try the water or plant milk alternative and retest. These are practical adjustments, not medical treatments, but they can make your breakfasts both more comfortable and more effective. To close with concrete, easy-to-remember rules, avoid pairing blueberries directly with cow's milk. Use water or plant milk, or leave a 2-3 hour gap if you want dairy. Don't blend raw cucumber with blueberries. Either keep a 30-minute gap or swap cucumber for spinach or kale in smoothies. Eat pineapples separately from blueberries, with at least a 1 hour gap, especially if you have reflux. Favor Greek yogurt, banana, and walnuts as companions for blueberries to enhance nutrient synergy. Use frozen berries when it's convenient. They're a great option. Here are 3 quick, ready-to-use combinations you can try tomorrow. 1. A bowl of oatmeal made with water, stirred with half a cup of frozen blueberries and topped with a tablespoon of chopped walnuts. 2. A parfait of plain Greek yogurt layered with blueberries and a few walnut pieces, sweetened lightly with a dash of cinnamon. 3. A smoothie made with half a banana, 1 cup of frozen blueberries, and water or unsweetened almond milk. No cucumber, no cow's milk. Each one follows the rules we've covered and aims to keep blueberry antioxidants available while supporting digestion and blood sugar stability. Finally, remember that dangerous in this context means nutritionally antagonistic or likely to cause discomfort for many older adults. It's not a claim that these pairings will cause sudden serious harm. Individual tolerance varies, and medication interactions are an important reason to keep your clinician informed. If you have conditions like GERD, chronic reflux, or are on blood thinners or insulin, mention any big changes in how you eat fruit to your prescriber. If you found these tips useful and want practical, evidence-based advice for senior nutrition, subscribe for more, and I'd love to hear from you. Share in the comments which blueberry combo you already love, or tell us which recipe you'd like to see turned into a short demo.